I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So for today, I don't have any topics to be discussed, like any teaching or anything. So I have all the ServiceNow material which I have preserved for myself. So I want to share that with you, interview questions, like some materials, like some PDFs and something I have, and I have some topics like this one I have created while preparing for interviews. Like I have listed down all the topics I know in service now, so I can go through that, and like I have pointed like what is the status, I'm done or not done. So I have given this one for my understanding. Let me remove this. So these are the topics which I have listed for my understanding, and some are the topics which are not discussed. Those are like those you will understand only after working on ServiceNow for 1 or 2 years. So those are not for you for now. Okay. Like first topic, like that is transformation map we have seen, right? So that topic. Then we have service catalog. Then we have workflow. Mainly they will ask you like what are the stages, like start, stop, begin, end, all those things, like record producer. And they will be asking you what difference, like what is the difference between service catalog and record producer. So record producer is also easy, but they will surely ask you question, at least a question like what is the difference between record producer and service catalog. Okay. Then what is order guide. So they will ask you this one also. Like if you are interested to learn about REST APIs, you have some videos on YouTube, so you can even go through that. And actually that is also easy type of API creation, so you can go through that. Okay. Then reporting we have seen yesterday. Dashboard also we have seen yesterday. CMDB and configuration item, that is not needed for you. That is a whole new topic, that is ITOM. That is not needed for now. Like as I told you, service now is divided into let me remove this. ITSM, sorry, ITSM, ITBM, ITOM, and now there are many like SecOps, we have GRC, we have like many we have now. But mainly these are the three things we have in service now. So mostly like every developer, like whoever has interest in developing scripting, they will go for ITSM, because in ITSM we will have this incident, problem, change, knowledge management, service catalog, all those things. Okay. So if you put ITSM in your resume, they will surely ask you all about this, like in what is incident, what is change, what is problem, what is knowledge management, what is service catalog, those things. Okay. And ITBM, like this is business management. So in this, like there will be a separate modules like about project management, resource management, those things. Okay. Like it will manage, like if you get your organization gets some around 10 projects, like who are the resources working on those projects, like who are allotted and how much time they are spending on that, like what is the billability, like what is the billable thing there. So all that project related, business related management, all that will be in ITBM. Okay. So like this, no need to learn about this ITBM. Like this is just a flow, like what, how resources are managed, how project are managed, all those. And just a form and its flow is designed, but scripting and all those are, everything is same. Like adding the choices is same, business rule, UI action, UI policy, data policy, all those are same. Just forms and its flow is different. Okay. And ITOM is totally a different thing. There you don't need any coding, like you don't need even a line of code. Okay. So mostly the people belonging to networking background will go for ITOM, because it will have to, like here we will manage all the configuration items, servers, IP addresses, we will manage those of our organization. So because networking background people will have knowledge about all those IP ranges, all those things. So mostly those people will prefer. But you can also go for ITOM. And if you are interested, like I feel the ITOM very boring, because we don't have to do anything. Just we have to do just this configuration, not no scripting, nothing. So I don't find that interesting. Okay. And but if you are interested in that, and actually ITOM is like they will provide high package if you know ITOM. Okay. So some like if you are interested in ITOM, you can go through that on some YouTube channels. You will have ITOM related videos also. So in ITOM we will have these topics. CMDB, you will, that is configuration management database. Then we have topics like discovery. Then we have event management. That normal event and this event management is totally different. Okay, those the event registry which we have created, right, that is totally different. That is not this type, this event. Okay, so we have this, and we have some one two topics more. Okay, so in CMDB, like we will list out all the configuration management, like all those servers, all those things, hardware, software things like laptop, everything, every configuration we will set up here. So in discovery, like that is a separate topic. So in that we will check if or like whatever configuration configured servers, all those are running up or not. So in this we will schedule something, like we will schedule, and automatically it will check, like if we have some hundred of configurations server something, so it will check like which are up and which are running. So if like sometimes they automatically go down, right, servers, so it will automatically notify us like these are the count of servers that is down. So we have to check like why those are down. So that is the purpose of discovery. And event management, so we have some tracking tools, right, like if we have Facebook, like example, like we have application Facebook, like if application goes down for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, we want to, like our development team should know about that, right, like what is the purpose and from which time to which time it was down, and it should notify us within 2 minutes of when our system is down. So for that we have event management, and with event management we integrate with some other tools, like we have SolarWinds and some tools. One minute. SolarWinds, like mostly you will sometimes you will hear about this SolarWinds. So it is a tool for event management, like it like we can configure SolarWinds on our application, so it will trigger us a email whenever our application is down. Like we can set limit like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, so it will run for every 2 minutes or 5 minutes. So if our system is down, it will let us know. And that how that is configured, that is configured using event management and SolarWinds. Like this can be your different, like this is an integration tool, like a tool that will let you know about when system is down. So some companies use SolarWinds, and there are almost like 30 to 40. So that depends on your company. Okay, so that is about ITOM. Then we have SecOps, like same like we have DevOps, right? So developer and operations. So here in SecOps we have security and operation, like providing security, all those things. Like we don't have SecOps demand in India, but in European countries we have demand for SecOps. Okay, and we have ServiceNow DevOps also, but that is rarely used, like that is little bit difficult to configure, and that is not that smooth, like as we use Jenkins, all those things, right? So that is not that smooth. So I never seen any company developing ServiceNow DevOps. Okay, but we have this topic also, ServiceNow DevOps. Okay, and this GRC, that is also a rarely topic. Like most of the, like if we have 100 companies, only one or two companies will prefer this GRC also, and it is the like most complex topics we have in ServiceNow. So in total world until 2018 we have only 14 members who are certified in GRC. That was that level of tough. Okay, so if you are interested, like when you go after completing 2 or 3 years in the ServiceNow development, you can go to these topics. Like these are not that easy. First you need to understand this topic, like at least ITSM, and only after that you can go for these topics. Okay, so clear, like what is ITSM, ITBM, ITOM, SecOps, like I have just given you overview. And for now, like we have completed ITSM, like basic one things, right? So you can put only ITSM in your resume, like ITSM, and you can write like what things you know. So client script, business rule, all those things you can write there. Okay. And do not write ITBM, else they will go you for a new topic. They will ask you about resource management, project management, all those things. And if you put ITOM something, they will ask you all these topics. So for now, just keep this ITSM, that will be enough. And inside ITSM also we have many topics, right? Incident, problem change. So for 2 years, 2.5 years, only ITSM is enough. Okay. And if your company has requirement, they will give you time and they will train you on ITBM also. Okay. Okay. So then we have this reporting, CMDB and configuration item. Then we have service portal. Service portal also, that is a separate topic. I have shown you about service portal, right? There we develop widgets using Angular JS, Angular first version. Okay. So we develop that widgets using that. And if you are interested in learning about service portal also, that is a separate topic. So you can go through that. And we have some videos on YouTube also. Okay. And one more thing, as I have shown you on first day, like we have platform, like whatever we developed till yesterday, we call that as platform, right? And that will have access only for admin and ITIL people or agents who will resolve the ticket. Okay. But for end user, we don't provide platform access. We provide them service portal access. So those people will access ServiceNow only through service portal URL. Okay. They can't log in into our normal platform thing. Okay. And LDAP integration also, like LDAP integration, I have shown you on the second or third day. And we are not configuring that because we don't have the real-time data and real-time URLs. But what is the purpose of LDAP? Actually, it is called as lightweight access protocol. So what is the purpose of that? Like some companies will have their data, like all the user records in active directories, right? And if you want to have one active directory and we want to integrate that with multiple applications, so we can configure single sign-on. Okay, so we get that active directory users, their details, all those, using LDAP integration into our ServiceNow system. And we'll configure SSO also. So from next time, if they change password somewhere, like whenever after 3 months or 4 months your password get expired, if you change that password at AD, like active directory level, so all remaining things also you can log in, like you can log in your ServiceNow or any other application like your Outlook, all those will have same password. So that is the purpose of LDAP. Okay. And if someone leaves your organization, they don't directly go to each and every application and they don't deactivate the user, right? So that they directly go to your active directory and they will disable that user. So automatically that user will get disabled in all the applications like ServiceNow, Outlook, all those things. And Jira integration also. So this is not needed for now. Okay. This is also not needed for now. And daily tasks, like we will talk about daily tasks, like what type of task you get every day. So we will talk about that, like what type of task we get for admin and what type of task we get for development. We will see that in few minutes. Then they will ask you like what is incident management, like they 5 to 10 minutes you can explain. And if you want to have a detailed knowledge, like what is a particular thing or what is particular about incident knowledge, incident management, you can go through YouTube videos. There we have 1 hour, 2 hours particular incident management videos. So they will explain you whole flow. Same with change management, problem management, knowledge management also. So knowledge management also we have seen, right? Like how we create knowledge base, like knowledge articles, those things. So you can go through the video like you in YouTube, and maximum 20 to 25 minutes of video will be enough for knowledge management. There is nothing more to do. Then asset management, all these are not required. And system properties, we have seen system properties, like how we set the system properties and how we get the values from system properties. Okay, so you can go through that also. And these are the some topics which I have listed for my understanding, like for my developer knowledge. Like first one is ACL, like if I know ACL, yes or no. Then if I know how to configure related list on the form or not, then what is import set, that what is transformation map, what is catalog item, configuration item, UI action. I have listed all the topics which I have heard, like this I have prepared 1 year or 2 years ago. So I have listed all the topics which I have heard till now, like record producer, like a different one is like dictionary override, like what is dictionary override. This will be also compulsory question if you are going with 1 or 2 years of experience. Then what is email inbound integration, like we have seen, right? If we email from our Outlook, some incident and something will get created into our system, service now, so that is the purpose. And then this is about REST API. Then again LDAP integration. Then we have a chatbot live agent also, so you can go through this, like that is not required for you now. But as some companies, like we have Alexa and all those things, right, on Amazon somewhere. So on ServiceNow also we have default chatbot. So we can use that chatbot for like we can write the questions and some agent will reply for that, and we need to configure that. Actually it will not work defaultly. So for that you need to install a chatbot plugin, and after that you have to configure a live agent, like what to which team you have to route that question, all those things, and only after that it will be working. Okay, then what is glide ajax? So these are all the topics I have given here, and in sheet 2 also I have some topics. So these are also some topics which I have listed. So I will send you an email of this, so you can have knowledge of all, like these are the list of all the topics which we have covered till now. Okay, so that will help you, like before going to interview, you can check if you have knowledge of these topics, like how to configure, like what is the purpose. Okay, that thing. So clear, like this is the list of topics, that's all, nothing more than that. Okay, then that is about this one, like topics. Then we have materials, like these are the materials which I have saved some 2 or 3 years back. So scripting guide, like I have some PDF where we can learn on the scripting. Like nowadays we have all the YouTube channels, but earlier in 2017-18 we don't have any YouTube videos for ServiceNow scripting or anything. So at that time we used to follow this one. So all this you will have all different type of scripts, like with example this is glide record, all these types of scripts, like whatever you have around 140 pages. So those things, and what is alert, info, error message, all those things you can go through this material. Okay, but like this is very old, this is of some 2017 or 18 version, like J Jakarta version, but now we are in Q version. So there are about 7 to 8 versions old document, but still that will help you. And earlier we used to get like whenever we are learning ServiceNow, they used to provide us this ServiceNow admin guide. Like this is a document of some 500 to 600 pages, like 400 and 462 pages. So this is the document, this is the PDF they used to provide us when we were learning ServiceNow. They will have each one like line to line, whatever we have discussed in last 35 to 40 days, right? They have all those topics here. And when I have cleared my ServiceNow certification, admin certification, we have gone through all these 142 pages because we don't have any YouTube and anything. So I have gone through all these and I have cleared ServiceNow admin certification. So you can go through this, but this is also of Jakarta version. And if you need a latest one, that is paid. Actually, that is not free. Okay, so that is the thing. And these are some like ServiceNow dump, something I have just like stored something for myself and my understanding, like some question answers, all those things. So this might help you. Okay, so these all are questions, like the main UI is divided into 3 sections, like banner frame, application navigator, content frame, all those just questions. Like, okay, you can go through this and that will help you. And then we have this LDAP configuration. Like we have not covered the LDAP, but here we have all the line by line, like how we can set up an LDAP. So you can like in YouTube also we have 1 or 2 videos where we can set up this LDAP, but you can go through this also. Okay, this is also an old version. Okay, so I will provide you all these things so you can explore 1 or 2 and you can go through that. Yeah, SLA creation, all those things. So clear, like what is the CMDB process? I have just something like when I was new to ServiceNow, I have all these documents, but presently those are not needed because we have everything in YouTube. Okay, and earlier in 2017-18 we don't have Now Learning also, so we used to get only from this document, but now we have Now Learning, all those, and those are modified in Paris version. Earlier we don't have Now Learning also. Okay, so clear about topics and these materials. Okay, then we have like I have 4 sheets of interview questions which I used to prepare, and among that there is one sheet like which is very useful. Let me open. Okay, not this one. So this is the sheet which I used to follow, and this has very good questions. So like more, if you go through this all 45 questions, and if you get answer of all these 45 questions, most probably you will clear your interview. This will have all the complex and every question they will ask, and we will go through this also in few minutes. Mm, so this is one more list of questions like I have written here, like script include can be called in how many 5 ways. So though where we can call that. Then what are the stage of knowledge base? So we have this stages. Then in how many ways we can debug a client script? So we have these ways. So these are some questions which I have written, like just 3 or 4 I have here. So that will also help you. And these are actually the links, like when I was preparing for my present company, so I have gone through all the links wherever I found interview questions. So these are all the links of interview questions. You can open those and you will have 40 to 50 interview questions on each link. So go through that, and mostly after reading this you can clear an interview easily. Like just interview questions, they will you can clear easily. But if they ask you any practical or any scenario, you have to answer that. Okay, so coming to this 45 questions, so you people can go through that. I hope my screen is visible. So first question, like what are the types of business rules and client script? So right, we have 4 types of business rules and 4 types of client script, so you have to name those. Okay, that is the first question. Like how can we know which version of ServiceNow we are using? So I have not shown you this, right? So I will open, give me a minute. Admin. And sometimes if you are a 6 months experience or 1 year experience, they will ask you this question because this is a basic question. So they will ask you like which, how you can know which version of ServiceNow you are working. So you should be giving stat, STATS stat dot do in your application navigator. Okay, so you will get this list. So here is your this instance name, like 11473, all those things. Like you can see the cubic version, it is in cubic version. And in cubic version also we have some patches like patch 3, patch 4, something. They will release some patches, right? So you can know which patch it is, all those things. And this is your sysID of your instance, your instance name. Like we have seen, right, in system properties we used to pull instance name, instance sysids. So how we can pull? We can pull that from here because this is of system property. So we can, like, this is my IP address, all those things you can check from here. And how is that check? Stats dot do. Okay. And sometimes like there is one more thing, like sometimes if your application is saving some caches and you want to clear ServiceNow caches, then you should give that as catch, catchy. Okay, sorry, catchy dot do. So it will clear all the cache of your system. Okay, so it will clear all the garbage. Okay, so just remember these two things, like cache is never needed, but if you are like if you are doing some client script and it is not removing the data, like whenever you log in you on your page, it is showing, it is filling that particular field automatically. So clear cache and that will not populate automatically. Okay, so that is the thing. And then we have, what is the difference between asynchronous and synchronous glide ajax? We have seen that, right? So this is also in the interview question, like what is the use of display business rule? We have discussed about this also, like while working on this topic. Then how to define fields on incident table from business rule? How we define, like current dot short description, current dot priority, right? So you have to answer that. Tell me business rule predefined parameters. We have discussed this also, and I have, while discussing, I have told you like they will surely ask you about this question, right? So what are the default parameters of business rule? Anyone? Sharath, anyone?
Current,
Huh?
previous,
Yes, yeah, that too will be enough. Okay, so that should, you should answer. And they will ask you about what are the predefined parameters in your business rule, what are the predefined parameters or on your on change client script. They will ask you, and they will ask you what are the predefined parameters on the email script. We have seen, right? Email action, all those totally 5. So they will ask you about that also. So please remember this question. They will surely ask you at least one default parameter. And difference between this one, like after business rule and asynchronous business rule, is also a compulsory question. So you should know this. And we have discussed this, like what is the purpose and what is the main difference of that. And what is the difference between catalog item and order guide? So I think Yogini has covered this topic. Okay, so which one will execute first, client script or UI policy? Okay, so they will ask you this question also. Okay, so you have to know about this. So give an practical example of workflow you have implemented in your organization. Like you can give any some basic workflow example you have developed. Okay, how many ways you can trigger the notification? Okay, one is using like we have seen that, right? One you can do from workflow, and second one you can do from event queue. Okay, gs.event queue. So in these two ways you can trigger notification. Okay, then what is the syntax to call an email notification into business rule? Okay, and we have seen that also, right? Like that dollar email script underscore some name, that one. Like how you get current date time in client script. Okay, so we have seen that also, glide date time thing. Okay, then how to hide a field using, okay, how to hide a field by using client script. So you have seen that, like some field name g underscore form dot display true false by giving field name, that one. Like types of ACL. Okay, when how many types of ACLs and what are the roles required to create ACL? So we have seen yesterday, like you can give types like record, underscore endpoint, and those remaining which we have. And what is the role required? We have seen that yesterday, security admin. Okay, so that is also a question. Tell me about glide record and glide secured API. Okay, so this is also a new question. Like we have seen about glide record, like from glide record we can perform something on our table database, right? and we have Glide Secure API. Like it is a combination of Glide Record and combination of ACL. So Glide Secure means like we will perform that database operation, but there you can give like can view, can read, can write, like who can view, who can write, who can do that thing, and that is done using Glide Secure. But that is a API, but I have never used, but I have just basic understanding about that. That is its purpose. Then what is the use of inherit checkbox on your service catalog? So on sometimes we have inherit on our business rule also, right? And sometimes we have that on inherit catalog also. So you can like you have to explain like what is the purpose of that. Like if you give that inherit those thing you can sorry, that particular catalog you can inherit in other applications also. Okay. What are the multiple ways to keep data unique in import set other than coalesce? Okay, so other than coalesce, what thing can you do? Okay, you can write some script and you have to match there. Okay, like coalesce is the one thing from which we can maintain the uniqueness. If you don't have, you have to run some script and you have to perform, you have to check if that is unique or not. Okay. Yeah, and this is about transform app script, and we have seen that there are around 8 types of transform script: on, start, on, complete, on, all those things. Okay, so in that they will surely ask you about what is foreign inserts script. So as I have told you, like if you are creating some like if you are doing transform map and you have some member table. Okay, member table is third table, second table, right? That is nowhere related to incident. But if you want to insert data in that member table, you have to write this foreign insert script, and you have to write that code there. So it will create and record in member table, and it will link that on your incident table. Okay. So what are the types of fresh method and soap method? Like as Sharath and Rohit has worked on .NET, they know about this, like post, put, delete, get, and those 4. And in ServiceNow, we have one more thing that is called as patch. Okay, so in ServiceNow, we have 5 types. Okay. So what is SLA retroactive start, and where can we define that? We have seen like it is a checkbox on your SLA definition, and if you select SLA retroactive as start, so if you cancel some SLA and it starts some new SLA, it will start from the day from the time and date where that ticket got created. Okay. So certain SLA which should exclude second and fourth Saturday and Sunday, all these things we have seen on SLA. Like we have schedule option there, right? From that schedule, you can remove, like you can exclude, include some holidays, public holidays, weekends, all those things from there. Okay. So that should be your answer. Like what is update set? All things you know about that. Okay. Nothing to see on update set. List down the activities which are recorded in update set, right? So while working on update set, like first thing we have seen, like what are the things that will get captured in update set and what are the things that will not get captured in the update set. So simple, like if you are developing business rule, client script, you are creating table, you are creating form, you are creating report, dashboard, everything will get captured in your update set. Then what is the thing that will not get captured? Like if you are creating a record, like inserting an incident, if you are creating a user in user table, if you are creating a group, those records will not get captured in update set. Okay. Then what is database view? Like we have seen database view also, like if we have 2 tables like incident and SLA, we have 2 tables, and we have to create a report where we have to show like incidents which are 80%, which where SLA is 80% breach. So we have to maintain a relation between that 2 tables, right? So there we will create a database view for incident and SLA table, and so that both will get combined, and that will show as a third table. But we don't call that as a table because we can't perform any action like root operations on that. That will be just a view. We can just view and we can show data, that's all. Okay. So that is database view, and we have seen this topic also. What will happen when we check on global checkbox on client script? Okay, so if you select on global checkbox, so that client script will be available for all the applications. Okay, how can you enable the role? Like we have that true, false, like active, yes, no thing, right? That is the only thing, nothing more than that for enabling. Tell me on change client script predefined parameters. So again, you can see like they are asking like what are the on change predefined parameters. Okay, so you know all that, old value, new value, each template, those things. Is it possible to move the non-staging table data into target table? Okay, so like we have like while working on our transformation map, we have seen there is one staging table. Staging table means temporary table, and one is target table. Like first we will insert the data in a temporary table, and after by using transformation map we will move that data to a target table. Okay, so like how that is done? So without transform map you can't do that. So that is your answer. How to pass dynamic values in REST? This is not required for now. In integration, okay, this is also not required. How to attach files like PDF to an email notification? So we have seen this also, like we have directly attachment option and you can directly see from that. And we have seen this also, how you can add a CC, add BCC. We have seen this also, right? So that is also a compulsory question. And we have seen this 34, like what is the use of set workflow, true, false, then what is the difference between this? Like set workflow true means what, set workflow false means what? Okay, client side API, this so what is the server client side APIs and server side APIs? So you have to answer those, like what are the client side APIs? G underscore form, G underscore user. And coming to server side, we have glide record, glide system, glide date time, and we have such many. So we have seen this while working like when we are discussing about scripting. We have this API list also there, so you can refer that video and you will get to know about this. And what is record producer and how can we start the script in record producer? So I think we have seen the record producer, and there also we have a box. When you click on advanced, you can write script there. And what is the use of record producer? And okay, same one. Where are you using alerts? So alerts means if that is client script, you have to write G underscore form dot that alert things, right? Like add info message, error message, those things. And what is data dictionary? So I think like we have discussed about data dictionary around 10 times. So I hope you have good understanding about data dictionary, right? So I hope everyone is clear. Am I correct? So then coming to Coles field, everyone knows. Like if you tick Coles field as true, then that field should be unique. Okay, and I will send you a new link. Like we have only 1 minute here, so I'm sending a new link in 2 minutes.